It's 11:47 p.m. on a Sunday, and you're staring at a banking app on your phone, refreshing it like it's going to change. You make six figures. You have the title. You have the LinkedIn badge that says Senior. And yet your checking account has $340 in it for days before payday. You do the math in your head for the 100th time. Where did it go? You didn't buy a yacht. You didn't buy a Rolex. You bought groceries, gas, daycare, a birthday gift, and dinner out twice. That's it. That's the whole crime scene. And somehow it ate a paycheck that your 22-year-old self would have thought was an impossible fantasy. Here's the part that should scare you. You are not broke because you're bad with money. You are broke because the number $100,000 is a corpse. It's a ghost of a salary that died sometime around 2008 and nobody sent out the obituary. You are still living inside a fantasy built by sitcoms and financial advice columns from a completely different economy. And the gap between that fantasy and your actual bank balance is where your anxiety lives. My name is Lona, and I spend way too much time picking apart the numbers we've been trained never to question. If you've ever felt embarrassed admitting you're stressed about money despite a good salary, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Today we're doing a full forensic teardown of the six-figure illusion. We're going to walk through the inflation math nobody adjusted for, the invisible benefit cliffs baked into the tax code, and the psychological trapdoor of lifestyle creep. By the end of this, you'll understand why the six-figure salary isn't a finish line. It's a moving target that keeps sprinting away from you. When most of us were kids, $100,000 was the mythical adult salary. But thanks to the silent compounding killer called inflation, $100,000 in 1995 is equivalent to roughly $185,000 to $190,000 today. If you are making $100,000 today, you aren't rich. You are earning the inflation-adjusted equivalent of roughly $48,000 in the 90s. You have a luxury salary on paper, but a working-class purchasing power in reality. The label says executive, but the math says survival. The tragedy is we still budget and spend as if we are the 1,995 executive trying to maintain a lifestyle the currency can no longer support. We are engaging in a mass delusion, financed by credit cards trying to act out a script that became obsolete 2 decades ago. But inflation is just the surface level. The real damage happens somewhere most people never look, the middle income squeeze zone. Here's how it actually works. When you're low income, the system throws you a rope. When you're super rich, the government helps you too, just through a different door. But the middle class, you are the cash cow. You are the only demographic that pays retail price for existence. You earn too much to get help, but you don't make enough to rig the system. You are stuck in the middle paying the bill for everyone else. Let's actually run a race through this system, because this is where it gets ugly. Say you get bumped from $85,000 to $105,000. That's a $20,000 bump. In your head, you think, amazing, I have $2,000 extra a month. But you don't. First, you hit the progressive tax brackets. Then you lose the student loan interest deduction. You are penalized for succeeding. Then there is the child care cliff. This is the one that bankrupts young families. You are mathematically poorer by $8,000 because you worked harder. This is a system designed to keep you on the treadmill. Now let's talk about the part that's on us, lifestyle inflation, the most effective wealth destruction machine ever invented. You get the raise, and almost immediately your brain starts approving upgrades. The Honda becomes a Tesla lease. The one-bedroom becomes a 3-bedroom with the home office you use twice a month. Grocery store trips quietly migrate from the discount chain to the nice one. None of these decisions feel reckless individually. You've built an invisible mortgage on your own lifestyle. Your gap between income and expenses never widens. You are sprinting on a treadmill that speeds up every time you run faster. It's called hedonic adaptation. Whatever standard of living you experience for 6 months starts to feel like your baseline. Lottery winners frequently report being no happier a year later, sometimes worse off financially than before they won. The money didn't fail them. Their baseline simply moved to match the money, and then kept demanding more. Layer onto that the appearance tax. When you're earning $50,000, Nobody expects much from you visually, but cross into six figures. There's an unspoken uniform you're expected to wear. The car has to look a certain way in the parking lot. The house has to be in a certain zip code, ideally one with a good school district. None of this is written down anywhere, but the social pressure is enormous, and it operates like a tax. Let's build the actual simulation. Take two people. Person A earns $55,000. Person A rents a modest one-bedroom, drives a paid-off car, and cooks most nights, leaving roughly $7,000 in surplus. Person B, running to their annual deficit once you count the phantom costs. Person B is earning more than double Person A, and running an annual deficit. On paper, Person B looks like the success story. Now project this forward 20 years using compounding. Person A's surplus builds into a portfolio worth well over $300,000. Person B, running a deficit, isn't investing anything. They're accumulating credit card interest instead of compound interest. Income and wealth are not the same variable. Income is the speed you're moving. Wealth is the distance you've actually covered. You can run extremely fast on a treadmill and cover zero ground. This connects to something even more dangerous, the golden handcuffs effect. You can't quit the toxic manager. You can't take the lower paying job that would actually make you happier. The person earning less, but living below their means, retains the ability to walk. That ability to walk away is worth more than almost any raise. First, stop anchoring your sense of success to a specific salary figure. Judge your position by your savings rate. Second, every raise comes with a shadow cost. A raise that looks like $15,000 more might functionally be $6,000 more. Third, put your next raise on autopilot before your lifestyle sees it. This requires disconnecting your identity from your income bracket. You have to become the person comfortable being underestimated. That person is not poor. That person is the only one in the building who actually has options. The six-figure salary was never the finish line. It was just a bigger treadmill with a nicer paint job. The finish line was never a number on a pay stub. It was the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And that gap is the only thing that was ever going to set you free. If this video made you rethink what making it actually means, send it to someone chasing their next raise thinking it's going to fix everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.